Right, where am I today? Well, it's freezing cold, it's been raining, it's wet, and I'm in a barren landscape. So I'm up in the hills in Northumberland. Now I'm looking for a place called Cateran Hole. Now local legend is that Cateran Hole was used by smugglers. Now legend and, claims are one thing, but whether there's any proof of that, I don't know. It may have been, who knows, but you get that a lot along the coast, don't you, where people say, oh, that cave was used by smugglers, that one was used by cobblers. Yes, there are ones that were used by smugglers, especially when there's an exit, to avoid taxes and things like that. But in this particular instance, it looks doubtful because it's in the middle of nowhere. We're holiday and whiskey country, so I can't understand what they'll be hiding there when they can just hide it in the house. So I find that hard to believe. So we're in a barren landscape. There's literally nothing for miles other than sheep and maybe a few pheasants. So I'll have a quick look around, but it's dead windy and really, really cold. So there'll probably be a minimum of filming because, as I've mentioned in previous videos, when you film in wind, you get an unpleasant clipping of the audio. It's the actual pressure of the air hitting the microphone, and it's unpleasant on the ear. You can take that out with filters, but I'm not going to let the viewer suffer, so there'll be a minimum of that. Or I might just film it and take the volume off. So I'm at where I think I need to be, but here's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to park at a certain place, then walk, 3 hours, then go up this hill, then over this river, and then down here, and then line up a pylon with a hill. I'm not fanning on with all that. I'm going to do this TrailTrek style. So let's hit the map and recce. Right, so let's get into the map here. So this is where I am. So I'm near Botany Lech. Christ, that doesn't sound very nice, does it? So there's Cateran Hole down there, which is fair enough. So if I change to a satellite view, there we go, I'm there. Now here's my plan of attack, okay? This obviously is a physical road. This here is the road. And this here is the, it's not even a track really. It looks like it's been made by a Land Rover. So what I'm going to do is, here's the plan of attack. This here is a hill. So I'm going to go, that's the hill there. That's the only sort of landmark really that you've got. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down this track and then along here and then up. So that's the plan of attack. And I think it's about a mile. In fact, I can check that. So let's go to, how do you do it again? I've forgotten. You can measure distance, but I'm not that bothered. So that's the plan of attack. So wish me luck, because I think it's going to rain soon. So that'll be fun. More rain. So come on, let's make a move. finally I found it. So behind me there, as you can see, is Cateran or Cateran Hole, however you want to say it. It stopped raining for a bit, but it's cold, very cold. So I'm going to have a little look in and see what there is. Let's get the camera out. So you're in like a hollow in the middle of nowhere here. So you cannot see it unless you come across it. Well, I've been down the hole. There it is there. And the sun kind of tried to come out, but poor effort. So it's very, very, very cold. I've done a cheeky time lapse before I got frostbite, and I'm down the hollow at the moment because it's very, very cold. I mean, luckily I'm pretty good dealing with the cold, but this is better because there's no cover. So if you're going to come here, you need, you know, at least sort of Gore-Tex trainers and plenty of layers. Ideally, something like a rab with windshield stuff in it and double thickness, but you'll be all right. Come on a nice day, it's probably quite nice. You could sit in the sun. So I'm going to say goodbye to the hole there. It's time to make tracks. Well, I've made it back, and it's safe to say I'm cold. I've even got cold teeth. Even my teeth feel cold, that's how cold it is. So I've made it back. It's not too hard to get to. Don't bother with all these guides, because all the guides say you line up this farm and you line up a mast. Well, you don't really, because when you're there, they're not technically lined up. So anyway, I would recommend just use Google Maps on your phone. Take you straight there, no problem. And I'll adjust the position on Google Maps so it's exactly on it. So that'll make sure for people. So marks out of 10. Well, on a nice day, I think I'd give that, even though there's a lack of wildlife, I did see 4 grouse hovering over the heather there. I would give it a 7 because it's quite an interesting natural formation. I think that's particularly natural in the way that it seems to be sedimentary rock thrust up. I don't think that's been built by smugglers, personally. I'm not a geologist, however, I think that's just rumour. That would be my thoughts on it. So I'd give it 7 out of 10, even though there was a lack of wildlife, and it's freezing cold. It's raining again now, so I'm going to make a move, and it's worth a visit. But you don't need to now because you can watch my videos, so you can probably hear the rain there. It's peeing down. So time to make a move. I'm off. Bye-bye. Oh, and before I forget, get out! I've had to do it. I've got cold teeth, so get out. Anyway, bye.